Hi, sixth graders. Um, so I'm just going to go through some extra notes about the different vocabulary words as you are working on writing these down. The first word in your vocabulary set is tone. Tone is the attitude of the of the text. It's the author's attitude towards the audience, the subject, or the character. So the types of words that are used to describe the tone of something would be like energetic, comedic, playful, sad, gloomy, that they like or dislike something. So, like if you think about Guardians of the Galaxy and Groot, the only line that he ever says, the only words that he ever says is, I am Groot. Or she, I guess. We don't really know. Anyways, but Groot only says, I am Groot. But based on how it is said and what's happening, we can tell how Groot is feeling, whether Groot is excited or sad or displeased or otherwise. Next is mood. Now, tone and mood are similar, but they are not the same. Mood belongs to me. Mood, me. Tone is the author. It has the T. Author has the T. Okay? Mood is the feeling the reader gets from a story. So it's the atmosphere. It's how the story feels. It feels romantic. It feels mysterious. It feels lighthearted. It feels lonely. It feels intense. It feels calm. Those are all mood words. The next one is denotation, which we've been talking about for a while now. Denotation is the dictionary definition or literal meaning of the word. So, like in this circumstance, a wall would be a physical boundary. So, if I was standing outside of the classroom, I would say, I can still see you, even though there's a wall between us because of the window, obviously. But I'm literally talking about the wall that stands between you and I. Connotation, on the other hand, is an idea or feeling that a word invokes in addition to its literal or primary meaning. So now, instead of the wall being an actual physical barrier, if I am kind of on the outs with somebody, then I would say that there's a wall between us. And the connotation of that tells you that it's an emotional barrier. So, connotation is an idea or feeling that a word invokes in addition to its literal or primary meaning. Connotation is incredibly important to tone and to mood, but especially tone, because connotation, if you're trying to show that you're angry at someone and you say that they're such a light-hearted, sweet person, then you know the connotation of those words do not give you an angry tone. Likewise, I can't say, well, I really dislike that person because they're just so If I want to show you that I'm angered by the person, I strongly dislike that person because they just always are know-it-all. There, now the connotation gives you that tone of being angry. Next up is style. Style is the choices that a writer makes and what sets them apart from all other authors. Style can also be like, is it conversational? Do you feel like you're having a conversation or kind of observing a conversation taking place? Is it narrative, just a story? Is it persuasive? Is the author trying to persuade you to believe something or do something? Descriptive is just describing things. And then argumentative is stronger than persuasive because they are feeling really strongly about their side, basically. There's a lot more to that one, though. Next is voice. Voice is the individual writing style of an author that sets them apart from any other writer. It's their personal way of getting their message across. It's how the words that you choose, the sentence structures that you choose. For you guys, for sixth graders, there are many, 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 many times that I sit down and I read a paper and I don't have to look to see who the name is on the paper. I know right away. because I can hear you talking, and that's your voice. Alliteration, we've heard this one before. It's repetition of initial consonant sounds. Some smug slug. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peppers. She sells seashells by the seashore. The wind whistled through the willows or through the window. So it's got that initial consonant sound. Now, assonance is new. Assonance is more difficult to pick up on, and I highly recommend that if you are listening or if you are being asked a question about what kind of figurative language is being used, or if there is figurative language, that you say them out loud to yourself and you kind of really stretch the sounds, because sometimes that's how you pick up alliteration. Alliteration, again, is a little easier because it's the same consonant. But assonance is the repetition of a vowel sound within 2 or more words in close proximity. So clap your hands and stamp your feet. Try to light the fire. It beats as it sweeps, as it cleans are all examples of assonance. So just like alliteration, like you could have, there are some consonants that make the same sound as each other depending on how it's being used. So watch out, make sure that you kind of stretch those sounds. Next is stanza. Stanza is a group of lines in a poem. We don't call them paragraphs when we're talking about poetry. We call them stanzas. Next is rhythm. Rhythm is a strong, regular, repeated pattern of sound. So sometimes you read a poem and without even trying, it just picks up its own rhythm. Sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked into a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before a king? And finally, we have rhyme. Rhyme is the correspondence of sound between words or the endings of words, especially when these are used at the ends of lines of poetry. So, I saw a little frog, he was cuter than can be. He was sitting on a log, and I'm sure he croaked at me. So here our rhyming is frog and log, bee and me. There is also internal rhyme, and we'll see that a lot with a few of our poets where you have something that rhymes within the line instead of at the end of the line. So that is our first set of vocabulary for this unit. Again, our words are tone, mood, denotation, connotation, style, voice, alliteration, assonance, stanza, rhythm, and rhyme. You will need to study these for our quiz in 2